Welcome back to Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin. And today we have another sampler provided to us by Tommy. So thank you very much, Tommy. And this is, well, it's a kind of a special treat. Midwinter Night's Dram. This is Act 8, Scene 2. They named this. All right, well, let's go back to who they are. So they is High West. This is, I think, our first High West whiskey that we've done on the show. I do have the bourbon, the Prairie something bourbon. We'll get to that one at some point. They do have a number of other ones that they do as well. This particular release is their Rendezvous Rye. Not proofed down quite as much. And then finished.
Was it port?
Port and French oak.
They're based in Utah.
Yep.
And they source.
Well, they have their own and they source. They blend.
Okay, but most of the stuff they're getting is
probably it's
MGP.
Probably mostly sourced. Yeah, MGP. Yes, but they do blend. They blend their own stuff, and they don't really tell you how much they're blending of each. I don't know how much they're actually producing themselves. It doesn't really say it on any of their website stuff, but I mean, whatever. We've done so much MGP at this point. Who cares?
Again, it used to be kind of frowned upon. Now it's.
I think it's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
That's a solid. Thank you, Tommy. That's a solid pour right up to the top. It's almost dribbling over. All right.
Again, I think the climate out there. I think probably more is sourced than they actually distill in their own.
For Utah, you mean, or just all whiskey?
Just Utah.
Utah.
For this, I think more is probably sourced.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Maybe someone knows and will drop us a comment. But
so, all right, Act 8, Scene 2. Now, I don't know how many scenes there are in each act, but I do know, like, there's obviously 8. I know there was an Act 8, Scene 1. I know there was a Act 7, Scene 3, but I don't know if there was a 4. So I don't know if we're 20-ish, 30-ish in, somewhere's in that range of different releases that they've done. 98.6 proof, pretty solid. Gotta like that. Somewhere in the 4 to 7 range is what their ryes are from MGP and their own. And the MGP rye is 95.5, which is
shocker.
I don't think MGP does anything else. It almost seems like. Their rye is 80-20.
Okay.
So that's a lot of malt in a rye. And I don't know how that's going to impact this. I'm super excited. Never had this before.
Color,
it's very dark.
That port.
Yeah, the port will definitely, and I don't know what French oak does to it. I don't know if it's more porous or what for like a wine oak or something, but that is really dark for.
I'm going to go very sweet on the nose and peppery finish. Spicy finish?
Probably a good guess. I mean, overall, that is a rye nose to me.
Yeah.
More than I would have expected. Yeah, more than I would have expected on the rye nose.
I thought the port was going to sweeten it up.
Really sweeten it up, yeah. Lighten
no,
it up.
That's heavy rye.
Yeah, a lot of spice. Not the herbally rye. This is the spicy, got a kick rye. It all goes back to that 95.5. There's something about that rye that MGP uses that's just got a little bit more of a spice kick to it.
It kind of follows the same all the way through for me.
Well, I get a little bit more of the herbal and mint notes. That fennel, I get that too. The star anise, all that kind of rye, all those rye notes do start to fly through. It does get more herbal than spice. The nose is super spice forward. I get a more herbal rye on the palate. Never really get a big fruit blast.
No, none at all.
Was really expecting like a really bigger fruit blast. So I gave it a little chew. Got the same. Very herbally. The spice starts to come in when you do the chew, but it's a lot more of the herbal notes than it is.
You aerate it, it just dries out.
Oaky? Like that kind of a dry,
it
or
just dried?
Not what I was expecting at all.
No.
I was really expecting more fruit from the port, a stronger. Doesn't say how long it sits in the port barrel, so I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what French oak brings to that. or if it's a French oak port barrel. I'm not totally certain on that one. It's a bit more aggressively rye than I would have expected, I guess, is really what it comes down to. I was really
I'm going to guess it sits in the port for about 3 months, 4 months.
It's not a big impact.
If it sat in there for 6 to 9, maybe a year.
Be nicer. Yeah.
It'd be a softer palate.
Settle it down.
Yes.
Like relax all the aggressive rye notes.
But with the fruit that's supposed to be in it, I bet it'd make a good Manhattan.
Yeah.
Something it might open.
Yeah. It's not exactly the
Where's
cheapest.
your pipette?
It's downstairs. I'm sorry. I don't think this is priced to be making cocktails. Midwinter Night's Dram.
I'm sure there is a bar that does.
That would do it, yeah. But you're still talking probably around $100 or more for the bottle, and that's probably retail. And this is not one that's easy to find, especially if you start going backwards in acts.
Yeah.
It gets silly. But yeah, you're probably right. There probably is a bar that's doing it and pulling it together and trying to go there. Yeah, the fruit notes. This would probably make a really nice Manhattan. A little herbal, but got a nice spice to it. I'm not getting... I thought the fruit notes were going to be a little bit more apparent.
Some that vermouth with it.
Yeah.
A little vermouth.
Muddled cherry. Or cracked open cherry with just a touch of the syrup in there.
Little bitters. Yeah, I think this will make a really good Manhattan. Yeah, I was way off.
Yeah, yeah.
Way off.
Yeah, and I mean, I agreed with what your assumption was going to be, but it didn't turn out that way. It really just tastes like MGP Rye. I get a lot of that. Maybe then there's some kind of an herbalness that I don't always get from MGP Rye. Usually it's a little bit more spicy. So the blend is doing something different.
So I wonder how this would be if they took like a 80-20 MGP Rye and did it and blend it with their 80-20. It's a little overpowering.
It's a strong rye note. If you like rye, I mean,
I don't mind it, but this one is just...
It's stronger.
I don't know.
There's some ryes that are more approachable and not quite as aggressive on the spice or the...
Colonel Taylor?
Yeah, Colonel Taylor, Old Overhaul. There's a handful. I mean, the Michter's ones, really.
Yeah.
There's a lot, like it's there, but it's not overpowering. This is very much that rye spice note. It does turn herbally when you're drinking it. There's hints of fruit, but those notes are so overpowering, you almost can't get there. I'm slightly bummed because I really was hoping this was going to be really good because I've heard really good things about it.
You told me when you got the sample.
I was super excited. Super excited. Honestly, and I'm still super thankful to Tommy for giving us the sample because now I know maybe that's not quite that flavor profile that I like. It's just, there's something about that MGP Rye that I was really super excited. Didn't quite turn out the way I was hoping. That's the whole point, though.
This is the whole point of the show.
That's the whole point, is exploring and trying to find whiskeys that you like and are in your flavor profile. Something I like isn't always something you like, though our profiles are pretty close. But there's a lot of people that really love ryes and don't really like how overly sweet bourbons are and things like that. So that is kind of the whole point of whiskey. Try different things. Try some scotches. Try some brandies? No. Some bourbons. Try Texas whiskey. Try Tennessee whiskeys. Yeah, they don't use grains.
But it tastes...
It's very similar.
Very similar.
Very similar. Someone over the weekend had asked me, well, define what whiskey is. I was like, it's aged grain distillation. I was like, versus a grape or another fruit. It's really the only difference. I mean, it's a grain. That's all. Your corn, your wheats, your rye, your whatever. So I was just like, yeah, that is really it.
I mean, there's a lot of hype.
Yeah, there's a lot of love around this particular, this line of whiskey. There's a lot of love around this line of whiskey. It's not exactly my profile.
No, but again, there's probably a lot of people that this
would love this.
Falls into the wheelhouse.
Yeah, a little bit. If you like a little bit more spice, maybe a little more herbally kind of note. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not quite in my profile.
I still think this would make an unbelievable Manhattan.
Probably would.
Maybe when Tommy gets to the end of that bottle.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is a neck pour. I don't know the answer to that one. That's interesting. I wonder if there's a difference between first open and later in the bottle.
Or when he gets closer to the bottom, maybe he'll let's have make a Manhattan.
That's a possibility. I don't know. When it gets maybe down to like the last like 3-4 ounces, we can have make some Manhattans, all three of us, and see if that works.
He might
Smells
be
like it.
He might be in for that.
He might be. I don't know. Never seen him do a cocktail. He's always drinking it neat. We'll figure that out.
Well, I mean, High West, it's a very recognizable bottle. I mean, outside of actually it says High West on it, but it's a tall, slender. It's
slightly odd shaped cork and things like that. Yeah, they do things a little bit different.
Wooden, So it's recognizable. I think every liquor store I've gone into in the last 10 years
have a bottle of
a bottle or 3 or 4 bottles. I mean, they've got a number of different ones. Again, it's all, for the most part, it's sourced. And we've had a friend that's gone out there. He says it's kind of a cool tour. Yeah. Cool tap room. So if you're out there, I think it's in the Salt Lake City area.
Okay.
So check it out.
Yeah, it's Utah Bay. Yeah, I don't know exactly where, but yeah, probably Salt Lake.
Again, I thank Tommy for the pour.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tommy.
I was totally surprised.
Yep. It did not
what I was expecting.
Did not go down the flavor profile that I was expecting on the palate.
Yeah.
But really cool to explore it.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you joining us on this review. If you've got any other ones, let us know.
Have you had any other acts or scenes or whatever? And is
your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. Have you gotten more fruit profile, or is the rye just kind of the primary note that you're getting as well? Let us know. Love to hear from you.
You made a Manhattan with it.
Yes. Have you made a Manhattan with it? And was it delicious?
I bet it is. Well, again, we appreciate you watching. If you like this one, we encourage you to hit that like button at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you get notified every time we put out a new episode. Let us know any other High West that we should keep an eye out for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love to hear from you.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
See you next episode.
Cheers.
Cheers.